Life is not a problem to be solved, it is a possibility to be explored. Every human being comes into this world not with a fixed purpose written somewhere, but with an open canvas. What you make of this life is your responsibility and your creation. When people ask, what is the purpose of life? They are often imagining that there is one grand design, one hidden answer that must be discovered. But the truth is, life is a possibility, and the purpose is not found outside. It must be created from within. Most people live their lives as if life is one big problem. They constantly complain, they constantly struggle, they constantly fight with their own thoughts and emotions. But life is not against you, it is simply happening. It is like a river flowing. You can either flow joyfully with it or resist it and suffer. Suffering is not caused by life. Suffering is caused by resistance to life. If you understand this, you will see that happiness, joy, and fulfillment are not things to chase. They are your natural state when you stop fighting with life. The body that you carry is just a loan from this planet. One day it will go back to the earth. The breath that moves through you is also not yours. It is a gift from the existence around you. If you look closely, nothing that you call as yours is truly yours. Not even the body, not even the mind. But there is something that is you, something beyond body and mind. To touch that dimension is the purpose of life, not in terms of achievement or success, but in terms of realization. People often ask, how do I find love? How do I find happiness? How do I find peace? You do not need to find them. Love is your nature. Peace is your nature. Joy is your nature. The problem is not that they are absent. The problem is you are so entangled with your thoughts and emotions that you cannot feel your own nature. If you sit here in stillness, if you close your eyes and simply become aware, you will see that joy is already there, bubbling within you. Life is only here and now. Yesterday is memory, tomorrow is imagination. If you live in memory or imagination, you miss life. Your entire experience is happening right now, in this moment. But the mind is constantly dragging you to the past or to the future. This is why people are anxious, depressed, or fearful. If you learn to be fully conscious in this moment, life becomes effortless. The purpose of meditation, the purpose of yoga, is not to escape reality, but to bring you fully into reality. Clarity is more important than confidence. Confidence without clarity is dangerous. If you do not know something and you act confidently, you may harm yourself and others. But if you are clear, you do not need confidence. Clarity guides you. Clarity comes when the mind is calm, when there is no clutter. Most people cannot see life clearly because their mind is like a muddy pond, always disturbed. If you bring stillness, suddenly clarity arises. Karma means action. Every thought, every emotion, every action you perform leaves an imprint. Karma is not a punishment, it is your creation. If you take responsibility for your karma, you take responsibility for your life. Responsibility does not mean burden. Responsibility means the ability to respond. If you live consciously, you respond. If you live compulsively, you react. Life is about moving from compulsion to consciousness. Fear is living either in memory or imagination. What you call fear is nothing but not being in the present. If you are here and now, fear disappears. Anger is poison you drink hoping someone else will suffer. Jealousy is comparing yourself to another when every life is unique. Stress is simply your inability to manage your own system. These emotions are not natural states. They are distortions created by unconscious living. If you bring awareness, they disappear. The mind is a wonderful tool, but if the tool controls you, it becomes a torture. Most people are tortured by their own mind. They think they are suffering life, but they are suffering their own thoughts and emotions. Meditation means creating a little distance between you and your mind. Once that distance is there, you can use the mind when you need and put it aside when you do not. Then life becomes light. Success without fulfillment is failure. Many people chase money, power, recognition, but when they get it, they still feel empty. Because success is only valuable when it comes with inner fulfillment. Fulfillment does not come from what you have. It comes from how you are within yourself. If you are joyful, peaceful, balanced, then whatever you do outside becomes a celebration, not a struggle. Life is fragile. Handle it with care. Every breath you take is borrowed time. When you realize how brief life is, you will not waste it on anger, hatred, or bitterness. You will see that every moment is precious. Every interaction is valuable. Gratitude naturally arises when you understand this. Gratitude is not something you practice. It is the natural response when you realize how much life has given you. The purpose of life is not to reach heaven. It is to make this life heavenly. Heaven is not somewhere else. It is a state of experience. If you know how to keep your body, your mind, your emotions, and your energy in harmony, you are in heaven. If they are in conflict, you are in hell. You do not need to die to go to heaven or hell. You create them every moment. Love is not about possession. It is about inclusion. When you say you love someone, it means you have included them as a part of yourself. If you include everyone as a part of yourself, then love is not something you do. It is simply who you are. Compassion is not weakness. It is the highest intelligence. When you see beyond your own survival, your own needs, your own ego, then you act with compassion. Silence is the highest form of communication. In silence, you can hear life more clearly. In stillness, perception is sharp. Most people are too noisy within themselves to perceive life. If you bring silence, life reveals itself. Spirituality is not about belief, it is about experience. Belief means you accept something without knowing. Experience means you know because you have touched it. The purpose of spirituality is not to believe in God or heaven. It is to experience life in its fullest depth. Education must not be only about earning a living, it must be about learning to live. True intelligence is not about remembering information. It is about perceiving life as it is. If education does not bring clarity, balance, and inner strength, it has failed. The purpose of knowledge is not accumulation, but transformation. Time is limited, but attention is limitless. How you use your attention determines the quality of your life. If your attention is scattered, life feels chaotic. If your attention is focused, life feels purposeful. Meditation is about sharpening attention. When your attention is sharp, even small moments become profound. Every challenge is an opportunity. What you call obstacles are simply situations. You can either see them as problems or as chances to grow. Growth does not come without responsibility. Taking responsibility means you do not blame anyone. You see that your life is your making. This is true empowerment. Death is not the end, it is transformation. If you fear death, you cannot live fully. If you accept death as part of life, every moment becomes more alive. When you understand death, you also understand life. You see that what matters is not how long you live, but how fully you live. Peace is not the absence of activity, it is the presence of balance. Even in the midst of action, you can be peaceful. Joy is not the absence of problems, it is the presence of awareness. Spirituality does not mean renouncing life, it means engaging with life consciously. Every human being has the possibility to live in freedom, not in bondage. Bondage is created by the mind, by desires, by fears. Freedom is not about running away. It is about being free even when you are in the world. True freedom is freedom from yourself. Do not postpone life. Most people live as if they are rehearsing, waiting for the real show to begin later. But this moment is life. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not certain. If you postpone life, you postpone everything. Live fully now. Purpose is not something to be searched outside. It is something to be experienced within. If you live consciously, joyfully, and fully, your very presence becomes purposeful. You do not need a grand mission. Simply living with awareness is the greatest purpose. The essence of life is not in reaching somewhere, but in being here fully. If you learn to live with awareness, gratitude, and love, you have lived with purpose. Life is not about accumulating, but about experiencing. Life is not about surviving, but about thriving. Life is not a problem to solve, it is a possibility to explore.